So in this lobby, we're going to have Netherlands currently at 23 points, Sweden at 15, Southeastern Asia, Central Europe, Germany 2 at 3 points, and then Central Asia currently sitting at 0 points for this round, obviously. So good luck to everybody. In first position, we have Germany too, with no position in Ireland. But yeah, so this is the third game, which means it is progressive world domination. Which means that you do really want to be spread out on the map. And especially in 5th and 6th position, but also in first position, because it's it is possible that 5th and 6th position have a good chance to survive in this game, which means they might go after the first position player. So in first position, you do really want to be guarded and spread out as well. Now, this is Britannia Advanced. Most people are familiar with this map as a progressive world domination map. They are playing with stable portals. So second position, we have Min playing for Southeast Asia. Also nicely spread out. Third position, we have Mobat the Egg, aka Iversama, playing for Pakistan, representing representing Central Asia. I keep thinking of just South Asia being Bangladesh, Pakistan, but also Afghanistan joined their group after most Afghanistan players were not very active. That is interesting. Seems to be... Oh, no, not putting any troops on that big stack. Yeah, these green stacks are technically all connected, because that's just the one, that's just the one. This is all one position, but I'm very sure that people will take those spots. No, maybe that... Alright, yeah, that's going on that stack. In third position, that is a very nice position to have. Third and fourth positions are super strong, very offensive, so you want to guard kills, and you want to prepare for taking kills. So that 5 stack of Central Asia guarding the Dutch 4, very strong. Now fourth position, sorry, we have Central Europe. That is Unknown Crow, I believe representing Austria. Yeah, Central Europe. Also nice and spread out. Have a pretty nice position in Scotland, Cornwall, like near the London area as well. It's very nice to be spread out. Fifth position, we have the Netherlands. Rough spawn, being in 5th or 6th. Hello, quality, thank you. Being in 5th or 6th is pretty rough in world domination on an open map. But on this map specifically, it's more likely to survive a 5th or 6th spawn. Stable portals so bad. I'm not a big fan of stable portals, but they're not terrible, I've experienced so far on these specific settings. I feel like unstable portals is even better. You would see those in like a Grandmaster tourney, for example. Without any portals, I think the map is too choky. So it's going to be very hard to end the game, and it might stalemate. So stable portals are somewhere between. But I haven't had any complaints so far with the stable portals. So in 6th position, we have Sweden, represented by Vanilla Goblin 8. The Vanilla Goblin playing all 3 games this week. They didn't play any games last week, so they have the opportunity to do so. So where's that going? In 2nd position, it's nice to have access to a lot of directions. So that might go and take the big territory there. We'll see what they do. They help not so much, but don't do much. No, they actually move the other way and take a guarding position over there. So now that that German 3 is guarded by Southeast Asia and by Central Europe. Let's see if I can take another perspective here. See if I can take this one. Seems to be all right. So I'm increasing the size of this a little bit because it's such a big map. But it's not very wide, so I could even increase it more. All right, I think that's fine. So it's very nice for the Netherlands in the 5th position to have a couple of those guard-worthy territories. So the 4, the 2 in Ireland, they're very likely to have someone guarding them. What they might want to try is when it's either Sweden's turn or Southeast Asia's turn, to ask them thanks, like say thanks, fist bump, all that kind of stuff, so they can take the other guard here. Now on this side they have a Central Asia and a Sweden. Oh, Sweden removes the guard. That is rough. That is absolutely rough because Central Europe is right before them in turn order, and Central Europe now has access to this 4 stack, which is actually kind of a bad move by Sweden, right? I mean, Sweden does want to be guarded themselves, but Central Europe has access to the Netherlands here, 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 here. The only path they didn't have was that guarded position. So that means that now they do have access, and they're 4th in position, so they're going to get a relatively big trade, right? They're going to have the 20, 15, 25, 30 trade into the 35 trade if the Netherlands don't trade on 3 or skip a card in 5th position. I feel like if they do have a trade on 3, it's best to skip in 5th position because you have the opportunity to kill anybody in front of you if you do. But as I was saying, this is kind of bad for Sweden because if Central Europe gets the opportunity to trade in, kill the Netherlands on 4, then they might be able to chain it into Sweden. Especially here, they can take that, they can take this. If they take this 4 out, they have access to the 5 and the 3. Now they have access to this 3 in the portal, which has access, which connects to the portal in Orkney. And this 4 is being guarded by the Netherlands as well. So if they reach that 5 and this 4, they can attack all of Sweden's position. So kind of a bad move from Sweden to remove that guard. We'll see if somebody else takes it or no. And obviously Netherlands doesn't want to be in that large position. I mean, it's nice to be able to reach, but you don't need reach if you're dead. Okay, so Sweden might take the guard here. That doesn't really matter. Because they need to be guarded from Central Europe. Now, how about Sweden? Does anybody have lines on Sweden? So I would be thinking about either Netherlands or Central Europe if they have lines on Sweden. Central Asia, though, has great lines on Sweden, right? This 4 is connected to both of those. This 5 is connected to the 4. This 4 is connected to the 3. This 5 is connected to those 2 positions. And this 5 is lined up on that 4. So I think that is why the 4 moved that way. Right, so they need to find some kind of mutual understanding, some mutual guard. The Central Asia has such a good spread out position, they can reach everywhere. And Netherlands is not going to guard Sweden in this position. Southeast Asia wants to guard. So I feel like they need to move around a little bit. I think if Sweden moves down here, no, there's this 5. So the other way to protect yourself here, and especially in 6th position, because you get a bigger trade, right? The 15 trade, is to just have a lot of stacks in a lot of places. There's going to be a very annoying path. Like this, for example, the 3 and the 5. That's annoying because this would have to split. So doing more of that stuff, right? So this 4 goes up, for example, then splits back to here. This 5's got now that can, at the moment, it would still be able to path around. Oh, right. I can do prediction here. I'm going to give you guys about... that's a bit much, I guess. I'm going to say I'll give you guys 2 minutes to predict. So, who wins this game? Germany, Southeast Asia, Central Europe, Netherlands, or Sweden? Yeah, I'm imagining this is frustrating to multiple people. Sweden has now been guarded from the Central Asian menace, but they're still not guarding the Netherlands. The Netherlands is directly lined up by Central Europe, although this 6 stack doesn't have any lines on any Dutch stack. I would say this 5 should go down, and then maybe somebody else comes in, right? That way, it's going to be harder for Central Europe to reach the Netherlands if somebody else goes there. And wait, if they don't move back, this is great for the Netherlands. That 5 is not lined up for the Netherlands anymore. Your finger hurts? Why does your finger hurt? All right, last moments to predict who wins. I think Central Europe has the upper hand here. If they move back into the right position, do they have lines on anybody else? Do they have lines on Sweden? I mean, this 4 has lines on the portal position. This 5 has lines on this 5. They don't really have a way into Ireland at the moment. So if the Netherlands moves back, they do. This 6 does not have access to this, but through the portal, this 4 could be able to reach it. This 5 has access to the 4. Maybe that's why they moved up. Maybe they were looking at the... Ooh, that stays there. Yeah, that stays. There's no way to, for this 6 to run away then. And obviously, they can reach this 5. If they can reach this position, they can also reach the 4. Now, Germany is in so many positions that Central Europe might actually be able to use this 4 for that stack, and use this 4, move it through this position into that 4. Same with the 6. So Germany has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions, which means that, especially in first position, right? If you're first in turn order, you don't get the traits, so you're going to be down in troops, which means that you might not have the troops to withhold someone going through your stacks to take kills. Right? If you're later in the turn order, you can afford bigger stacks to defend kills. But if you're in first position with 7 stacks, none of them are going to be strong enough to actually withhold an attack. I don't know what's happening here. All right. Now, while everybody is calmly collecting their troops, establishing their positions, that kind of stuff. Let us look at the leaderboard. So, current leaderboard, this is the overall team leaderboard. We've got United States, Canada, Turkey in the top 3. In this game, we have the Netherlands on 67 points, Southeastern Asia on 57 points. So they are already both in the top 10. Then we have Sweden at 54. Central Europe on 32. So Central Europe is currently 20th. So they do need a couple of points to get into the top 18. So yeah, they definitely want this win, especially with a couple of bounties. Because if they only get a win, they only get 18 points. It's world dom, right? So they would definitely want a couple of bounties. And being in 4th position here is a very strong indicator that they might get some points in addition to the win if they do so. Now, the Netherlands also would like lines on the person after them. So Sweden, this 11 can hit that 7, this 12 can hit that 7, this 3 can be stacked upon and hit that position, this 8 can reach the 7, and the 6. This 5 can't reach anything, but this 12 can do some work. Yeah, they're gonna need to split a couple times, but they do have axes everywhere. That's the most important part. If you're 5th and you're not dead, and you can trade in to kill, then all right, Netherlands has no trade on 3, so they cannot skip. But I think that Central Europe does not have the lines at the moment. But if Sweden actually has a trade on 3 and they skip, or trade in, whatever they do, if they trade in, it's even worse. But if Sweden skips, then Central Europe might actually try to go for the Dutch kill. This chat is truly dead. We're just looking at the early morning for the US, right? And it's going to be a hell of a day again. Not the last day, obviously, but definitely a bunch of broadcasts again. So after this game, I will do another broadcast for Group 6, their second game. Then later, Mitch is going to do a single broadcast, I believe. Maybe 2? I'm not entirely sure. And then I'll do 2 broadcasts, a second and a third game in a row. Later tonight. So yeah, it's going to be about 5. Oh yeah, they're running away from Central Europe again. That is actually pretty smart. So now, if Southeast Asia decides to go there, that does put them in one line. But that would guard them from the Central European kill. And they should see that. All right, what does Sweden do? If they have a set, they might choose to skip. I don't think they have a set. But they want to run away, right? Yes, they want to run away as well. Well, now, there's no way to guard this. So this 4 is definitely lined up by that 7. Yeah, look at that. This is still 3. That's still a 3. I don't think in first position you have the opportunity to go for a good kill. It's either a very risky kill. So if they're looking at Central Asia here, oh, that's absolutely not doable. This 7, oh, this, they might actually feed this. They get lucky. They get absolutely lucky. So they get the kill, but of course that does not put them in a position to take another kill. And that makes Central Europe signs on Sweden all the more tasty. So this 6 is still lined up on Sweden, but this 8 now has better lines on Sweden. Well, Southeast Asia is lined up on who? Ooh, are they looking at... Yeah, I think they're looking at Central Europe. Southeast Asia might sweep this game. 12 on 6 is a little bit much. Are they looking at Sweden, actually? I would definitely be looking at... Yeah, this 6 goes into the... yeah, because this 7 is guarded, right? Oh, yeah, true. That 9 is guarded. Do they have any kill? Well, this is not lined up for the Netherlands either. Maybe they choose to guard. That guards Sweden, but the 7 now has access to that 7 stack from there. So, let's see. Does this become a 12? They definitely have the kill on Sweden. 16 through the 9 onto that. No, that is lined up on the Netherlands. So that 6 doesn't do anything, but they should have it. Six on 3. And 16 on 11. All right, yeah, great kill. Great kill on the Netherlands. Central Europe gets 3 extra points. Yeah, MOBA, GG's. That was a risky kill, but they got very lucky. Now, Central Europe has the greatest opportunity to win here. Although Sweden might take some points as well if Germany takes a card. Sweden can line up the kill on Germany right now. And if they take a card, they take the kill. Germany put themselves in a rough position by taking that kill. Yes, they did have the Sweden kill, but the kill on the Netherlands was a little bit cheaper and still very likely. Yeah, Progressive World Dom 5th position plus the 1 guard being removed early game. That was very rough. Yeah, there was 1 guarded position here and 1 possibly guarded position here. There was no guard at all here. And the guard that you had was removed early game. So that's what you get. You just die if you don't have a trade on 3. Trade on 3 in 5th position, pretty nice here. And being guarded, pretty nice here. But it is what it is. That's just rough. But Netherlands still in the top 18. And they do make it to the next round. I understand from Sweden's perspective because they were perfectly lined up by Central Asia. Central Asia had a stack here, so they moved away there to try to get away. And it worked. So now it's going to be rough for Sweden. Because they're not lined up on the... they're not lined up on the Central Europe kill. Is Germany lined up on the Central Europe kill? I'm not so sure. No, they're not. Yeah, good song. And now Southeast Asia is in a rough spot. If they go to 4 cards, then Central Europe might actually go for the Southeast Asia kill. Right, this 13's lined up. This 8 can reach the 20. 49 can take the rest. I mean, maybe that 7 could even take that 14. This 49 can just take this. I mean, this 49 could take everything into the 20. And then stack on the 13, and that takes out a bunch of troops. And that's good for Unknown Crow, because they absolutely... Ooh, no trade on 4 for Crow! Central Europe on 5 cards. Now, does Sweden have a trade on 3? That is very rough. Maybe if they took the Swedish cards, they would have they would have had a trade right now. But Central Europe definitely needs a win here to make it to the quarterfinals. If they don't win this game, they're out of the tournament. I think they're on about 35 points now, something like that. Now, does Germany have any dry kill? That 17 has access to kill the 7 stack only. Maybe the 6. But it does not have lines on the 17. Alright, they go to 3 cards. No, they actually... Oh, they did 2 attacks and go to 3 cards. Does Southeast Asia have a trade on 4? If they do, they could probably kill... Yeah, they should kill Central Europe here. 5 cards. It does put them on 4 at the end of their turn. Maybe they can chain it. Do they have access to the 7? Yeah, they do. This 53 is possible. Yeah, the 61 can take care of the 53. Oh, they're taking care of Sweden here. Understandable. Ooh, do they have enough? 61 to take the rest of that? I don't think they have it. I don't think they have it. That's going to be very rough. Ooh, they can still take it, but it's a dice roll. Slow roll. Oh, yeah, double tap. 18v15. They get it. So yeah, that was a rough thing, but now they might be able to chain this into... this 15 can reach a couple troops here. That 7 can reach the 13. That 8 can reach the 6. This 1 is going to be annoying. And the 7 and 1 as well. No, I don't think they have the kill on Central Europe here. Are they choosing to lock their troops? No. Alright, that's rough though. They're on 117 troops. So that was very negative for them. It was 3 bounty points. We do see a kill. I'm very sure that this is going to be a successful kill on Germany here. Yeah, that's going to be a successful kill on Germany. Putting them on enough troops to go for the kill on Southeast Asia. So another 3 points on the board for Central Europe. They're now almost at the point where they can enter the quarterfinals. Now they just have to turn this into a win. That 13 stack is locked. The 10 does have access here. All right, they should do a couple more attacks. Yeah. Split off. That probably attacks the 8 stack as well. And now they really have to do some damage to that 36. 26 and 26 does lose. No trade on 3 for Southeast Asia spells disaster here. They didn't even take 1 bonus. Oh, no, they didn't take 1 bonus. If they only did 1 more attack, they would have taken a bonus here. So that was super lucky, not having a trade on 4 and still surviving to take the advantage here. Now, they would probably take this kill. And up there. Got a couple troops on this side. No, it's not enough yet. They don't have any troops available here. So Southeast Asia might still take the win. Southeast Asia might still take the win, but the trades are very close. I think the trades are about 80. Yeah, 75. This is very close. If they don't get the perfect pathing here and don't get the perfect dice, then they might still lose. If they don't get it, then I'm pretty sure Central Europe takes it. And even if Central Europe... I think if Central Europe does not have... Ooh. Yeah, they have to split here. And they have to split in Isle of Man as well. So they don't have the kill. Yeah, 26 to kill 33. The 6 stack. Ooh, good dice on the 6 stack though. That's the wrong pathing. Now they need to split unnecessarily. All right. So, does Central Europe have a trade? If Central Europe has no trade, Southeast Asia wins. No trade for Central Europe. And that will be the GG. They have to roll that. They have to roll that bonus. They do break. They're going to have to do... Don't open the 6. They opened the 6. Oh, no. 12. Is that enough? 12 might not be enough. Oh, they're not stacking on the 6? That would be a mistake. Oh, that's a mistake. Yeah, they're not getting this kill. They're not taking the kill. They're not taking the kill. That's not going to be enough. They have to split that 2 and then still have enough to hit the 3. Central Europe might still win. Yeah, opening that 6 was the wrong move. They might take this with amazing dice. They might take it with amazing dice. Have to roll the 3 first. I think they have to... All right. They can take this. Ooh. All right, 2v1. Oh, they blitzed that. They blitzed that. Oh, they should have 1 die slider. Sorry, 1 die slow rolled. They should have 1 die slow rolled. 84 troops will be enough to take the whole board. Even if they make a pathing error, it's going to be very hard for Southeast Asia to take this win. Do they have the time though? Look at this. Almost halfway through the timer. Ooh, their speed is so low, and they have to make an unnecessary split there. I think they might not have the time. All right, at least break. At least break. All right, they do break. They split off unnecessarily again. Oh, that just adds to the timer if you split unnecessarily. Yeah, they leave 11 territories. No trade on 3 though for Southeast Asia, so this would have to be a win. If Central Europe has a trade on 3, they should take it. I don't think they have it. Oh, please don't split unnecessarily again. Oh, they split unnecessarily again. Yeah. All right, this is a straight line. And that will be the win. And I think with 3 bounties for Central Europe, they do make it into the quarterfinals.